David and Victoria Beckham are the most important cultural icons of the 20th and 21st century. Their love has overcome staggering adversity and been a lesson and inspiration to us all. But to fully understand their story, we need to go back to England in the 1980s and two small children with big, big dreams.
1 and 2.
At an Essex stage school, a young girl is being given a hard time.
Hold it. Victoria Adams, what do you think you're playing at?
I'm pointing, miss.
Pointing? Get out of my class. Ugh, and lose some weight, you fat little cow.
You'll see. One day, people will pay to see me point.
Meanwhile, in Spain, a young football competition winner is about to meet one of his heroes, the Barcelona manager, Terry Venables.
All right, seniors, who's next?
Hi, Mr. Venables. Can you sign it to David Beckham?
You English, son. Good boy. Is your dad here? Yeah, he's not a copper, is he? He didn't mention extradition, did he?
Why don't you come back to England, Mrs. Venables? Why do you stay in Spain?
Let me show you something, David.
Juan Fredo, Bolo, Neto, Golo.
Good lad. Spain's a piece of piss, son. It's a piece of piss. And it's a nice little earner to boot. Something you do very well to remember later on in life. Now then, it's a tenner for the autograph. Don't piss about, son, I want cash.
One day, I'll work for a decent manager, someone I can look up to and respect.
David did become a footballer, and people did pay to see Victoria point. And now in this fiercely independent documentary, which is endorsed by Adidas and directed by Victoria's father, the true story of David and Victoria Beckham can be told. And it's a good one. Our story begins at Chelsea Football Ground.
Haven't Adidas put on a lovely spread, girls?
Yeah, Victoria, and you've really enjoyed eating it, haven't you? Hey?
Yes, Sporty, I have. As you know, I eat 3 hearty meals every single day.
Blimey, Victoria, I can't believe I'm here. Why, barely a year ago, I was posing for mucky pictures in Turkey. I don't deserve this success. I'm rubbish.
Cut that out, Missy. I won't stand for this low self-esteem nonsense. You're a wonderful, sparky girl. You've got to start believing in yourself.
Thanks, Victoria. I owe you everything. Hey, maybe you'll meet that footballer you fancy. What's his name again?
David Beckham.
Did you mean me? Because my name's David Beckham.
No. I mean, yes. I don't know what I mean.
Don't worry, love. I often get confused myself. Do you know, I can't spell professional footballer.
Well, I'm not exactly Susan Sontag.
Is she?
I don't know. I don't even know why I said that.
We've got so much in common. Neither of us know who Susan Sontag is.
David, come here at once!
I must go. That's my boss, Alex Ferguson, manager of Manchester United.
But can't you stay and chat just for a moment longer?
No. He's very possessive.
I want to tell you again!
Bye. Sorry, Mr. Ferguson, I was just chatting to the pretty lady.
Wait in the car! I don't know who you think you are, young lady, but I'll thank you to stay away from my players.
Aren't your players old enough to make their minds up for themselves?
You're obviously not familiar with professional footballers. And I'm warning you. Stay away.
You don't frighten me, Mr. Ferguson. I'm tougher than I look.
See, you got spirit, Spice Girl. Well, this isn't CD UK. This is Premier League football. You're playing with the big boys now. And the big boys play rough. Get a Neville!
But Victoria was prepared to risk everything to follow her heart. They were truly in love, and nobody could stand in the way of this century's greatest love story. Having made the Spice Girls the biggest group since the Beatles, Victoria now owed it to cinema goers to become the biggest film star in the world. And she did it by starring in Spice World the movie, which featured a number of big-name co-stars.
Well, goodbye, Victoria. It's been lovely working with you.
Likewise, Gary Glitter.
Yes, goodbye, Mr. Glitter.
Oh, please, baby, call me Uncle. Here, do you want to see a magic trick?
It's not that one with your pocket again, is it, Mr. Glitter?
What's the matter, Uncle Gary?
Just taking it all in. After this gets released, I don't think I'll ever get to see England again. Still.
Unfortunately, the girls were forced to cut Uncle Gary from their film after some disgusting images were found on his hard drive.
What a lovely man.
Yeah. Very touchy-feely.
Uncle Gary now lives in a bamboo cage in Vietnam.
Quick, come with me, sweet cheeks. Victoria, I've got something to ask you.
What? What is it?
Will you marry me?
They decided to keep their engagement a secret because Spice World was being released. Like Citizen Kane before it, the film was perhaps too groundbreaking for its time. The critics did agree on Victoria's performance, which was called competent and part of an ensemble. Next up was a tour organised by her manager, the orange-faced impresario Simon Fuller.
Now, my pretty Spice Girl, in this life, there's one thing that counts, and we put that in the bank in large amounts. Oi, Vay! It's Mandela! Quick, go take a picture! Go, go!
We'd like to say how brilliant you are, Mr. Mandela. Your performance in Driving Miss Daisy was amazing.
Thank you, Spice Girls. You should also take a look at the Shawshank Redemption. I'm the best thing in it.
Good girls, good girls.
Back in Britain, David was having to hide their relationship from the increasingly erratic Alex Ferguson.
See you soon, Victoria. Lots of love. David Beckham.
Hello, David. I like what you've done with your hair. And that skirt's very fetching.
It's a sarong, Mr. Ferguson.
I know, David. I know. It can be very hard for a young man in this line of work facing up to what you really are.
What do you mean, Mr. Ferguson?
That was a sin for me at Falkirk. It nearly destroyed me. Denying my true nature. Pretending to like pints instead of Campari. I felt so isolated. So alone.
Still don't follow, Mr. Ferguson.
I'm an artist, David. I denied it for a long time, but that's what I really am. And you may not realise it, but so are you. This might sound strange, David, but I want you to be my muse. Be my art, David. What's this? I think you're very pretty. We will live in a big house together. Here's a picture of the big house. You've been seeing that woman again instead of training for Manchester United.
Why shouldn't I see her? I love her.
Till you've experienced art. You've no idea what love is.
That may very well be true, Mr. Ferguson, but it doesn't matter anymore because I've asked Victoria to marry me.
You what?
Yeah, that's right. You may be contented being a confirmed artist, Mr. Ferguson, but I intend to make Victoria my wife.
Then you are no longer my son.
Your son?
David wasn't the only one having problems with an overbearing, rosy-cheeked control freak manager. But Victoria knew how to deal with a problem. Use girl power.
Simon Fuller, you're sacked. We're going to manage ourselves.
Ha! Don't make me laugh.
I'm with Victoria.
Bollocks!
I heartily concur.
Rubbish!
Well, I suppose...
Oh, you bore me!
Well done, David. You stood up to your manager.
What about you? You sacked yours and permanently scarred him with a Stanley knife.
Yes, I'm hoping the whole incident will help bolster Jerry's self-confidence.
Look, there she is now, with ex-Wham star George Michael. Jerry! George Michael! Over here! Right, George, you're going out with Jerry then?
Yeah, because I'm a heterosexual.
So, Jerry, are you looking forward to the Spice Girls tour of America?
Tour, yeah. America, yeah.
Jerry, what's this?
Nothing. Give it us back.
But I don't understand. You're not going solo, are you, Jerry?
Thing is, Vic, I've got to think about myself. I mean, what's going to happen to me if the Spice Girls split? I can't go back to presenting on cable. I just can't. You understand, don't you, Vic?
Yes. Of course I do. You've got to put yourself first.
That's what I said to her. You've got to be strong in this game. Like a heterosexual man.
Well, goodbye, Jerry. No hard feelings.
Oh, Victoria. I thought you'd already chucked up your dinner.
It's not that, David. I think I'm pregnant.
Victoria's pregnancy meant another mouth to feed. The timing couldn't have been worse. The World Cup had just begun, and David had been called to see the England manager, bonkers cripple taunter Glenn Hoddle.
Welcome, David. I knew you would come.
Well, you did say 7 o'clock, Mr. Hoddle.
The cards say you are preoccupied, David. The cards say your head is full of posh spice. The cards say I should drop you and pick David Batty.
Why is that, boss? I get up and down and I'm good from set pieces.
Your temperament is questionable.
But it's not easy when you've got people shouting posh takes it up the arse.
Hold on a sec. I'm getting a message. Yes? All right, mate. I understand, mate. Right. Gotcha. Thanks. Kurt Cobain says I should start you. You're in.
Thanks. I won't let you or Mr. Cobain down.
Don't you worry about these people shouting out posh takes it up the arse. Bad people all return, but reincarnated as cripples.
They come back disabled. That's amazing. So that means Stephen Hawking must have been...
Yes, David. Hawking used to be Adolf Hitler.